It's a, that's a pretty good assessment, sort of, but not quite. It's a bass. Not only is it that, it's a double bass. Now, does anybody have an idea of what we're going to talk about today, since I brought this big old thing with me?
Music?
Music. What kind of music? Okay, that's as good a guess as any, I think. Yeah, you're right. Jazz. Yeah, has anybody ever heard of jazz music before?
It's originated in New Orleans.
A Louisiana cultural music. Well, there you go. You've already gotten your associate's degree in jazz. That's pretty much what you need to do. Yes, as a matter of fact, I spend most of my life playing jazz music. Does anybody think of any famous jazz musicians? Louis Armstrong. He's probably the most famous one that kind of started the whole thing for us. Do you guys have any clue how it started? What you got, Xavier?
A clue that a good music.
Good music. That's always a good starting point. Namely, a trumpet. Yes. One more.
New Orleans?
In New Orleans, correct.
And well, Louis Armstrong, he started playing like silly types of music.
That's a way that people think about it. Okay, so that's all good stuff. I'm going to take you a little bit before that. Anybody ever heard of the Civil War? Okay, good. That's a good starting point. Okay, so the Civil War ends. Everybody takes all their guns and their swords and their uniforms and everything home. Everything's done. Well, in New Orleans, they also had band instruments. When the jazz music started, this wasn't the instrument that they used. It was actually the tuba, because they all went home, and of course they didn't stop playing their music. I mean, it's something they'd spent their entire lives doing. The blues had come around by then, gospel music was a thing, and it all kind of came together with a music called ragtime. And if anybody's ever heard that, if anything ever sounds plinky, as we like to call it, or ricky-ticky, then that's what it is. The Entertainer is the most popular one that ever came out of that era. Well, all that stuff made it down to New Orleans one day, and a guy named Buddy Bolden, who predated Louis Armstrong, had a trumpet, well, it was actually a cornet, and started swinging the music, thusly born jazz. Now, these days, we don't really have a whole lot of like jazz per se, because a lot of those guys have died, and it's just kind of evolved into something else. But what I want to talk to you about is what we do with jazz, which is we can take almost any song that we know and apply a jazz feel to it. So does anybody know a tisket, a tasket? All right, well, y'all face this way. I'm gonna work with you on it to make sure that we've got it. Y'all turn around. All right.
So get back in your
Let me get in there.
So everyone can see Mr. Jason.
All right. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. A tisket, a tasket, a burning yellow basket. I wrote a note to my friend put it in my pocket. Pocket, my pocket, and on the way I dropped it. A little boy, he picked it up. Okay, now y'all start it. 1, 2, ready?
A tisket, a tasket, a blue yellow basket.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So you all know the song.
No.
Well, hey, close enough to where you get the idea. Now, what jazz did, instead of taking what we call, these are called downbeats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it's fun enough. It's plain enough. But what jazz did was 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. How does that feel?
It feels like record.
Feels a little bit more fun, doesn't it? So let's try a tisket, a tasket again. But instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, give me a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, go.
A tisket, a tasket, a blue yellow basket.
All right, this side of the room, don't do anything. Just everybody over here. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go.
A tisket, a tasket, a blue yellow basket.
you go. Now you're swinging. But I think we're missing one thing.
He's gonna use the bass.
Double bass.
Double bass.
Now I'm going to use this thing.
How do you even balance it on the floor?
There we go. We've been doing that in A flat. All right, so let's try it again. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready.
A ticket, a basket, a blue yellow basket. I wrote a letter to my friend, and on the way I dropped it. I dropped it, I dropped it, and on the way I dropped it. The little boy picked it up and put it in his pocket.
All right. Y'all did fantastic. And y'all can do that to literally any kind of music that you want. What about what? You know, you could. What kind of rap are you thinking? Well, that can get a little tricky. Let's not do that. Everybody know Baby Shark? How does it go? Sing it for me. 1, 2.
Baby shark do 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 do. Baby shark do 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 do. Baby shark do 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 do. Baby shark. Mommy shark do 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 do. Mommy shark do 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 do. Mommy shark do 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 do. Mommy
All
shark.
right, do it again. Except Mommy Shark.
Mommy shark do 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 do. Mommy shark do 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 do. Mommy shark. Daddy shark do 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 do. Daddy shark do 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 do. Daddy shark do 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 do. Daddy shark. Grandma shark do 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 do. Grandma shark do 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 do. Grandma shark do 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 do. Grandma shark. Grandma shark do 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 do. Grandma shark do 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 do. Grandma shark do 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 do. Grandma shark.
How many family members do we have in the shark family? Second cousin, third time to remember. All right, well that's fantastic. Sorry, you let me know if I'm getting ahead on my time because I'm kind of like, okay, well now that I have my phone on me, I would like to show you did I not bring my little speaker in? Do you have a speaker? You do have a speaker.
Yes. Anne, will you get my boombox out for me? Plug it in.
Oh, I've got it.
Oh, okay.
Somebody won this in a contest. So, free Bluetooth.
Oh, Bluetooth.
Okay, now this group is called the Original Tuxedo Jazz Band. And it's so old, it was formed in 1898. Yeah, I know, right? Surely no one was alive then, right? Well, yeah, well over 100 years ago. So they're so old that they actually don't even spell jazz the way it's supposed to be spelled. They spell it J-A-S-S. If you look it up on the internet, it's J-A-Z-Z. Yeah. So, there we go. I even made y'all. Now, long attention. Oh, that's just the bell. Sorry, I thought we were waiting for something. Okay, now what I want you to do is listen to the instruments, listen to the language, and think about what they might be singing about. Maybe snap your fingers if you like it. Not too bad for a free Bluetooth. So what instruments can you hear so far? You said trumpet?
A double bass?
As a matter of fact, there is a double bass in there. Because they didn't get around to recording this until around the 50s. There there is a trombone in there. There is no flute. They haven't quite made it in there yet. This is a tune called Et là-bas. If you ever hear anybody say that. Et là-bas. It is not in Spanish. I think Mexican and Spanish might be the same thing, man. All right, so we got guesses at the language. Give me another one. Who's got something else? Not quite Chinese. What? Oh, you mean French? As a matter of fact, ding ding, you're right. You're absolutely right. But the fun thing about that tune is that it wasn't always written in French. It was actually written in Creole. So I take it some of you have heard of Creole before. It's not so common now, but back in those times, back around the turn of the 19th century, right? Yeah. Then those guys were actually speaking Creole. Eventually, they just went ahead and went with French because it was such a new thing. So nobody spoke it anymore. Does it sound like it's a sad, slow song and it's one of those things you just, I can't wait for it to get over? What does it sound?
Does it sound like happy song when you're really
Yeah, it's really exuberant, really super excited, right? Because do you have any idea what he could possibly be so happy about? Let me get somebody else. What you got?
The Civil War is over?
That's a pretty good reason to be happy, right? But not quite. Life. I can go with that. I'll tell you what it was. All he's talking about is eating and drinking. He's so happy. He's full and tired and just having a great time with his friends and laughing. And with jazz, most of that music is all about that. It's just about being happy. Sometimes about being sad, but overall, it's just about putting a pep in your step. And I think that might kind of be what I got, Mr. Niemeier.
Okay.
How's that? Y'all like that kind of stuff? I hope so. I love it.
Did y'all like it? Tell me.
I love it. I really didn't like it.
Alright, so everyone go ahead and get out our rhythm sticks again this time. Who are our two? Yeah. Wait, only raise hand if you're the two student leaders. Or...
It was me and Allah.
Okay, so go ahead and you two, go ahead and go up and grab two, bring around the box of rhythm sticks for everyone, and everyone grab 2 rhythm sticks from it. And we are going to be reworking on the dance we started last time. So remember that you have to have a partner next to you. Make sure you're staying seated though. Don't quite move around yet. Yeah, what's up? How tall am I? How tall do you think I am? 6 something? What's the something you think?
6'3".
You got 6'7", we got 6'3". I'm taking one guess at my height at a time. 6'8". 6'12". Ain't that 7? Oh, it's not quite 100 feet. I'll give you a hint. It's lower than 6'5".
6'3".
6'4". Lower than 6'3". I wish lower than 6'2". 6'1". Alright. But now that we've correctly figured out my height, make sure that you are all on your circles. Make sure, well, not circles, but in one circle. Make sure everyone is next to another person. Yes. Huh? Am I a giraffe in disguise? That's a bold question. I wish I was a giraffe.
You don't know this, but you just gave him a nickname.
Really quickly, raise your hand if you have not gotten a rhythm stick from either of the people passing out rhythm sticks. I'm someone who hasn't had a rhythm stick yet. Oh, which one? Which one's you want to have? Can we switch? That's the only switch I'm going to do. Nope, only me which I'm going to do. Make sure, if you handed out rhythm sticks, that you have some for your own. Let's go ahead and put those back since I think everyone has some. And make sure you grab 2 for yourself. No, only rhythm sticks. Oh, okay. Alright, so one person, raise hand and tell me something you learned in Mr. Jason's part.
When we did this.
When you caught on to, oh, and Mr. Jason's part that we just learned about.
Jazz started after me.
Yeah? What's another thing? Did you take yours? Did you take your thing you learned? Okay, I'm gonna move on. The double bass, that's called a double bass and not a big violin. That's a good thing to know. With jazz in the past, you spell with S's. Alright, that's all we're gonna do for now. Go ahead and stand up. Do you not have a partner? Make sure, everyone make sure you have a partner. You don't have a partner? Then join me in the middle. Alright, so I want to see everyone really quickly face your partner. I already have him, so I cannot be partners with more than that person. Unless, let's see, you two are partners, you two partners, 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 you two partners, you two partners, partners. Well then, I believe actually, you two can be partners. Let's go ahead. I know it's not your assigned spots in the circle, but let's go ahead and move you two right here in this little hole that's there. Alright, so, does everyone remember how many movements we learned last time? How many? 3 movements. Can I have one pair, if they think they super remember, to show me just the first one? Alright, you have to work with your partner. Does your partner remember the first step? You can do it. 3 and 4. Ooh, that's the 3rd step. I'll go with 2 more groups. If we can't remember by the end of those 2 groups, I'll just tell you guys. If you guys are super confident, show us what you think the first step is. Yes! The bend and touch. You were close. You went with the 3rd movement. Alright, now someone, one group, if you're super confident, show me the 2nd step. Ooh, that's close. That is correct, but not quite the 2nd step. Oh, we've lost our circle. We have lost our circle. We cannot continue until we have found our circle again. All right. Super confident you remember the 2nd step? All right, do the 2nd step. No, she's right. She's right. That's our dainty twirl. Dainty twirl. Dainty twirl. All right. And the last one, I actually would love it because these two did a beautiful job of showing it to us just a second ago. The 3rd step. That's what you guys were just doing. Hit, hit, bend, hit, hit. Yeah. All right. So now, this side, make sure we're remembering to stay in our circle. Let's go through all 3 of our movements. I will be with my imaginary partner in the middle. Everyone else, make sure you are facing your real partner in your circle. 1, 2, and bend and hit. Bend and hit. Bend and hit. Next is the 2nd one. Hit, dainty twirl. Hit, dainty twirl. Hit, dainty twirl. Hit, dainty. The 3rd step.
Bend, hit, hit. Bend, hit, hit.
Bend, hit, hit. Bend, hit, hit. And stop. I like the people following my example, holding up their sticks. Awesome. It can be an X or a T, whichever one you want. But shh. I heard some ows. Do we remember what we said last time? It was something you guys learned before, but how do we not say ow when we're working with our partner in rhythm 6? I saw your hand first. Say what you gotta do. Yes. Your thumbs are on the side, and your fingers are folded around the stick. So that way, we avoid hitting our friends. Now then, this side of our circle, we're losing our circle again. There we go. What? Did I see your question? What's up?
You cannot sit on partner crosses and then you hit.
Yeah. You can even do some things where your other partner crosses their sticks and you hit your other partner's sticks. That way maybe you avoid hitting each other. It's up to you and your partner. But now that we've done that and we have remembered what each movement is, we're going to get a bit more in depth with it. So, what would happen if can I scooch through here real quick? What would happen if I called the first movement A? Would you guys, if I told you guys, do A for me. Go ahead and do it real quick with your partner. Do A. All right. That's perfect. That is actually 1,000,000% correct. Good job. So if I called the second movement B, what would you guys do if I said, do B?
Hit, daisy, twirl. Hit, daisy, twirl. Hit, daisy, twirl. Hit, daisy, twirl.
All right. And now, I'm sure you guys can see where this is going. What would you guys do if I told you to do C? 3.
Bang, hit, hit. Bang, hit, hit. Bang, hit, hit. Bang, hit, hit.
All right. So, you guys got it. You guys know that A is the first one, B is the second one. Thank you so much. And C is the third one. So what would happen if rather than writing this, make sure everyone can see this, what would happen if I wrote that? Think it in your heads. If you super know it, then that is so awesome, but there may be some people who maybe need to think about it for a second, and I want them to have the time to think. So, I'm not going to have anyone individually show me. I just want you guys to all show me as a group. So I need you guys to get in our circle. Make sure we are in our circle. Make sure everyone has room. Make sure we are not hitting anything by accident. And face your partners. Now, we are going to do it in that order. B, A, C. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we're moving on to A with this next one. Third one. Alright. So did anyone notice that the third one felt a little weird? And maybe you guys can figure out exactly when to do the third one? The reason why was because the first one is a touch slower. Can I have one person come up here and do the first movement with me? Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Bend and hit. Bend and. So it has to be this slow. 1 and 2, 3, and up. But then the third one is faster. So if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, it's bend, hit, hit. Yeah, bend, hit, hit. Bend, hit, hit. Bend, hit, hit. Alright, thank you so much. You can go back to your partner that I stole you from. Alright, so now that we've covered that difference, and we're slowly running out of time, let's see if we can rearrange this again. And we'll see if when we rearrange this, if we can keep the tempo steady, if we can keep everything the same speed and do every step correctly in the correct order. Do you guys think you can do it? Thank you. Oh no, you'll have to wait and see. You'll have to wait and see what I write to know what order you're doing the movements in. Alright. So really quickly, 5 seconds to think about what BCA looks like. Just think about it in your head. And 3, 2, 1. Get up the ready. Face your partner. Make sure you two are in the circle. You got. Then try your best not to hit anything. But as long as you don't hit anything, I'm happy with that as well. All right. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
BCA. Think about what it means in your head. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Daisy twirl. Daisy twirl. Daisy twirl.
All right, we're going on to C.
Twirl. Bend, hit, hit.
Yeah.
Bend, hit, hit. Bend, hit, hit.
Going on to A.
Bend, hit, hit. Bend, hit,
Hit. Bend and hit. Bend and hit.
bend, and hit.
All right. Now, one person raise your hand. Since we're going down, we're going to do this 2 more times. I want someone to raise their hand and tell me the order you think the letters are going to go. You should go this time.
Oh, wait, I wasn't ready.
Oh, you were. I'm proud of how strong you were about it. C. B, C. Well, that is kind of what we have already. B, A, C. All right. That's fine. Shh. I didn't say it had to be one we didn't do before. I just said it had to be one. So, if you guys have already done it before, then you should get it perfect, right? Right. Okay, let's see. Everyone face your partner. Get ready, because we're running out of time. 1, 2, 3, and it's B.
Hit, dainty twirl. Hit, dainty twirl. Hit, dainty twirl.
We're going to the first one.
Dainty twirl.
Bend and hit. Bend and hit. Bend and hit. Bend the third one. Bend, hit, hit. Yeah.
Bend, hit, hit. Bend, hit, hit.
Bend, hit, hit, and stop. All right, that was perfect. You guys totally held true to your word that it would be perfect. So now, this time, someone give me one we have never done before. C? CBA? Did we do CBA? I have a feeling we haven't done it. All right, so think in your head for 5 seconds. Look at it, CBA. Think about what that looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everyone face your partner. This will be the last time, so let's do it. So awesomely perfect. So we're starting with the third movement. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Bend, hit, hit. Bend, hit, hit. Bend, hit, hit.
Go on to the second one.
Hit, dainty twirl. Hit, dainty twirl. Hit, dainty twirl.
And the third one.
Bend, hit, hit. Bend, hit, hit.
There you go.
Bend, and hit. Bend, and hit.
And sit down. Oh. Everyone really quickly, with your rhythm sticks, put them to the floor like this, and give yourself a round of applause via rhythm stick. And stop. Keep rhythm sticks on the floor. Can I have my 2 lovely helpers go ahead and collect everyone's rhythm sticks? Makes it stay seated. And now, everyone, put your hand in the air and show me 1 through 5 how great of a day you're having. You know what? I'm loving those raised numbers. I see some of our numbers have gone up, which is awesome. Thank you guys for being great. You guys can go ahead. If your rhythm sticks have not yet been collected, go ahead and bring them to Ava, who will be standing right here next to me. And Ava, stand still. Everyone bring your rhythm sticks to Ava. Can you make sure the card is ready? We're going to put those sticks in there. And everyone else, you can go ahead and go back to your desks and get ready to move them back. Got them? Perfect. All right, go ahead and move your desks back.